Alone. A family who had moved to an old mansion on the outskirts of a mysterious village were full of hope as they began their new life. The mother, father, and their two children, Melis and Mert, were excited about the fresh start. The house was large, its walls were faded, and the ceilings creaked with wooden beams. But the thing that scared them the most was something they noticed the moment they stepped inside. There was no one living there. Only coldness and a deep silence filled the air. On the first night, the old walls of the house began to make sounds one by one. Melis, turning in her bed, could not sleep, and suddenly felt a cold breeze pass under her fingertips. As she tried to move toward her room, she saw a shadow passing by the window and heard a scream. "Mom! Dad!" she screamed, but even her voice seemed to be swallowed by the silence. The parents rushed to her side. "It's nothing, Melis," her mother said. "Just the wind." But Melis still felt that shadow lingering in her mind. That night, the creaking of the walls seemed to carry the traces of a ghost. By morning, Melis and Mert were hurriedly getting ready for school. But the strange sound from the deep woods near the river made them hesitate once again. As the days went by, the strange happenings in the house increased. Melis began seeing, every night, a shadowy figure with a grotesque face slowly forming on the wall. Each time she saw it, a scream echoed in the distance. One day, Mert found an old book in the basement. It had faded writing on it. "Do not read this." But Mert, driven by curiosity, opened the book. The moment he did, everything changed. From that day on, the atmosphere in the mansion became heavier and more suffocating. The parents, once warm and loving, began behaving in increasingly strange and cold ways. Melis and Mert could feel that something was inside the house, though they couldn't figure out exactly what. The place where it all began was the basement. The children finally decided to go there. When they opened the basement door, the damp air and darkness nearly suffocated them. Something moved in the dark. Melis, terrified, pulled back, but Mert took a step forward. At that moment, in the old mirror of the basement, they first saw their reflections, then their shadows, and finally, the silhouette emerging from the darkness. It was the spirit of the mansion's original owners. Just as they took a step back, the door slammed shut. In that instant, the shadow drew closer. A scream echoed, followed by silence. Melis and Mert were never seen again.